So I know that I do have a number of weaknesses, and like we all do. I feel like my strengths are definitely visually. I know what can be beautiful, and I know that I've got really good partners in dance and costume and stage management and sound, and I feel like we're going to have a very strong show full of really high quality production value. But for me, what's more important about doing this production is to try and deliver a message. And a lot of people do dance and a lot of people do theater, but it seems to me that just there's some messages that need to be delivered nowadays that have kind of been squirted by. And I can't really set myself up as some, fabulous voice, because I really don't know that yet. I've been practicing, I've been trying, I've been, really trying to hone in on what it is that I think is important, what I think is important for us all right now. And one of the things that I think is important is that we get a hold of our own minds. Now, maybe I'm saying this because I need to get a hold of mine really bad, Maybe mine's like completely like out of control, and that's why I feel the need to like say something about this. But I think that like everybody, I'm noticing how much programming I have. I mean, why do I continue to put things into my body that I know aren't very good for me? And, there's that's just one example of the things that, we ingest, that we consume on a daily basis that might come out in ways that aren't so pretty. I mean, one way to talk about it obviously is fat, but another way to talk about it would be like, what is the other stuff that you're consuming? Does it result in hate? Does it result in you feeling superior to someone else? Does it result in you feeling like your opinions are the right ones and everybody else is wrong? Or, for me, what's been going on is that I have made a choice for myself that no matter where it takes me, I am going to be an advocate for the truth. And no matter where that takes me, I have to you kind of feel it down in here, when you start talking about the truth, because the truth is known. I mean, you know the truth. When you know the truth, you know the truth. That's how it is. And I know that people want to float through life and say, well, who knows what the truth is? Nobody knows the real truth. And it's like, I would beg to differ with that. I think that that's a lie that's been perpetuated upon us. I believe that man is much greater than we have been at this point on our planet been allowed to believe. There's like certain voices that want to suppress us and make us all stupid, and we're the reason that everything's so that the climate's out of control. It's your fault. I just have to say that to that point, that we are on a planet that is following a sun through space. Okay, we're being drugged through space. At this very moment in time, we're being drugged through space. We don't know what part of space we're in, do we? I mean, what if we're in a part of space where there's a lot of highly charged particles, and those particles are coming on, bombarding our planet, and saying, guess what, you're not going to have as much rain this year. How do we know? I'm just saying, I'm putting it out there, that I just feel like there's these bigger issues at hand. And I know for one of the things that I'm doing the show about, NU.TOPIA, is about the fact that we are in this cosmic cycle, of Aquarius. And what this means is that we are lucky enough, fortunate enough, blessed enough, to be living in a time where there is a change of the age. So being in a time where there's a change of the age means that we're in a time where all of our belief systems and structures and institutions and the whole hierarchical nature of our reality is changing. Have you ever seen those maps? I'm going to post one here if I ever post this. The chart of ages. It's very funny, you know, it goes along, and then there's this part where it's all like crumpled and the pyramid is like destroyed. That's the part we're in. We're in the restructuring part. And so I just wanted to do this show, N.U.TOPIA, which is about us being in that time of restructuring and how to handle ourselves during the restructuring, and so that we can literally create this whole new world out of the rubble of what's coming. And so what I would do is encourage everyone, if you're like me, you know, I'm hoping that other people want to seek the truth, that they would think that the truth is more important than their belief systems. And I would have to say that that goes to all your belief systems. That has to go towards not just your politics, but your religion as well. And it has to go towards your belief in big pharma. And, you know, are they really to be trusted? And your belief in your school system. Are they really telling your kid how to think for themselves and to be like this magnificent human on the planet? I find that there's like the whole freedom of speech issue, you know, that people think that for some reason certain voices need to be shut down. Don't you find that to be a little, yeah, right? Do we want that? Do we want businesses like Google and Yahoo and, you know, Comcast and, you know, we don't know who these people are. I'm not going to give my power away to anybody anymore. That's what the show's about. The show's about taking your power back and going through this age of Aquarius and how this all like works together, you know, and how we can really change ourselves up in a really amazing way. But one of the first things you have to do is you have to agree that you will seek nothing but the truth. And I know that there's a lot of people are much too lazy for that. They can't pull it together far enough to seek the truth. But this is the thing, if you're going to be an activist in any way, if you're going to be signing petitions or making phone calls or putting your money where your mouth is, or, you know, marching around with a pussy hat on your head or whatever it is, and you will not agree to the truth, wherever it leads you, then everything you're doing is for nothing. Because if you can't agree to the truth, if you can't look for the truth for yourself in everything, it's not easy. Being cheesy, it's not easy being yourself in this new world. You've got to give it your all, you know? It's a big job, but really, and I want to speak particularly to the Christians right now. To be Christed, you know, means that you're Christed in your head. This is where the anointing comes, okay? It doesn't come out of your pastor's oil bottle, okay? You get anointed in your head. And that anointing comes when the oil, the chrism, the Christ oil inside you is allowed to rise up and anoint your pineal gland. Now, look, if you're a non-drinker, if you're eating a fairly alkaline diet, and if you have a pretty calm lifestyle, your seed is fine. Your seed is making it every month. On the other hand, if you're someone who likes to drink, brawl, get angry, eats a lot of meat, your seed has probably been destroyed. And what's unfortunate here, okay, is that you have every opportunity to save your seed like everyone else. But I'm certain that I know what it's like to be captured by the lower desires. I mean, my God, I am every day. I talk about it every day. You know, I love bread. I can't give up bread. now that I've admitted to my addiction. Actually, I've got many addictions, but that's one of them. Okay, so we talked about N.U.TOPIA. We talked about N.U.TOPIA, that it's about the change of the cosmic seasons. You know, we do have seasons in life. We have spring, summer, fall. We have youth. We have young adulthood. We have motherhood. We have Crohn's, you know. We go through seasons of our life, you know, layers of wisdom, stuff like this. I just believe more and more, and it's just me, but I just believe more and more in the divinity of everything, that it's all so amazing, and watching it fall apart right now gives me giggles and fits. I know we're in for a wild ride. I know that it feels really scary. But I would have to say to those of you who save your seed, you're going to be fine. Those of you that are lost in your lower natures and that will not seek the truth and that are completely convinced that what you know is right and that your team is, you know, got to win or whatever, okay? I beg of you to look again, because now is such a special time on the planet. And it'll be interesting for us to just have these clear heads. You know what the Hopis said? They said when the change comes is you're supposed to just get yourself in the middle of the river, get your feet up, get your head up, and just kind of keep that, you know, that buoyancy, and just go right on down the middle. Just keep you cool, baby. You know, keep you cool. It's all going to work out just fine. Don't get caught up too much on one side or the other. Find a balance. Pray for the truth to come out. Pray for justice to actually be had. Because you know what? It's hard to live in a world without justice. Don't you find it? I find myself whacked out. I'm a Libra, you know. But I find myself a little whacked out when there's not justice. You know, it really... It's upsetting because I grew up in a world of what I thought was justice, but I don't think it was actually the whole time. I think that I was living in a bit of an illusion, thinking that we had real justice in this country, but or anywhere in the world. But I think it's coming. I do. I think this age of Aquarius is going to bring in many things that we're all going to be so very happy to see. We're going to see more compassion. We're going to see ourselves developing a free energy device. I call it SunUp, which is, I love that, sustainable, unlimited, natural, universal power. I see us being wireless. I see us being really inventive. I see that all the institutions kind of falling away because we're going to have a much more dynamically equal type of situation where you don't have the hierarchies anymore, you know, where somebody's above. It's going to be more like, you know, team going out, you know? And, yeah, that equality factor is going to be here. And so when we find our sovereign natures and we find our own divine self, then we can help the world in the most dynamic way, because you're not trying to impose your own belief system on top of it, so to speak, because the belief system you've adopted is that you want what's best for everybody. You know, whatever justice looks like, whatever truth exposes, whatever, you know, justice will deal. If we had justice on the planet, it would we would all be equalized so much more quickly. You know, but when you're rooting for one team and you think that you need to win and, you know, that these things have to go your way, then that puts the hand on the scales and not just lets the truth will out, you know, which is the only way we're actually really ever going to heal. Oh, which brings me to another point. Healing. I think it's very interesting, and this is another place where we give our power away, where we give our power away to Big Pharma. And Big Pharma is going to cure us of our cancer, or they're going to cure us of our cold, or they're going to cure us of the flu. And I have to say I'm not of that belief system, and I know a lot of people will disagree with me, and these are very hard things to accept and learn. But it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. When you know that you have the divine chemistry in you, I mean, when you finally get that knowing in you that you have divine chemistry, that you could literally really change things up because you are the divinity. Like, let's look at it this way. There's only one cosmic mind, okay? There's like one cosmic mind, and we're all part of that. We're all one with that one cosmic mind. All of my thoughts, all of my words are of that cosmic mind. They're all that cosmic mind. So when people say they're channeling, I mean, maybe they're just pretending better, I mean, it's so much easier to say these things when you think, this wonderful divine entity that's so much better than me is coming through and telling you all these words of wisdom. I mean, come on. It's all one mind. So yeah, you want to channel, it doesn't matter. I mean, everybody's Sybil if they want to be. That's what I think, anyway. I'm Sybil. I'll be Sybil. Works for me.